Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our third module. Today, we're going to study about obviously email marketing and the tools and platforms. So let's go. Let's recap, first of all, that in our previous lesson, we learned about elements of email copy, right? We've found out that there is a salutation, there is a subject line, there is a body copy, there is a CTA, there is a sender, right, information. And then we've also learned that every element of the email copy is very important. One cannot live without the other. Also, we've learned that the subject line identifies our open rates. The body copy identifies whether the person is engaged, and the CTA identifies whether the person is going to click through it, right? We've also learned about crafting killer subject lines. We've had different, like 4 types of subject lines. Either it's blind or curiosity, either it's direct, either it's the proof of results. And we've also learned about mastering email copy for an effective call to action. So I also gave you some suggestions, right? How to create call to actions. And one of the ways is always to use verb. And one of the very important things to note that call to actions should not be very long. They are mostly the buttons, right? Usually the very standard call to action is shop now. We always see it on our emails. But it's always advised to come up with something more creative. Obviously, it does not mean the whole sentence, but something like claim now, right? Or 30% discount, click 30% discount, something short like 2, 3, 4 words maximum, nothing more than that. And they should be really short words as well. They need to be really actionable. They really need to be out of the box, obviously. Because they're going to identify whether the person is going to click. We've also learned about using AI to create compelling content. I've also given you some suggestions and prompts, but I've also warned you to be very mindful of how to use ChatGPT, especially because it's not fully optimized, and most of the time it gives a lot of mistakes. You always need to personalize it because it's very obvious to the person when something is done on ChatGPT. You know, it gives these very obvious texts, which are really long, which are very cheesy, like really cheesy captions, and some words that are very commonly used in ChatGPT, such as digital landscape. Like every marketer who knows and who sometimes uses ChatGPT identifies it. So that's why you can use it as a base, but you shouldn't completely rely on ChatGPT, and you shouldn't blindly just, you know, create email copy out of ChatGPT, because this is going to be really, really obvious. And one of the other things that's very important for crafting your killer subject lines and body copy is to use simple language. So, you know, don't try to make it complicated. And I understand as non-native speakers, it's always there's something that we want to prove, that we want to show that we know this fancy vocabulary, we know these amazing words. But the reality is, when we're using especially marketing, we really need to use simple words, because on average people don't really come to either social media or email to read. They just need something simple, something easy to read, easy to skim. So again, do not complicate it. Just use something very simple. Okay, great. Let's continue. So for today's agenda, on today's menu, we have email marketing tools and platforms. So the first thing that we're going to study is popular email marketing platforms and their features. And I know that you've been really eager to know, like, what are those platforms? How do they work? It feels for you that it's so indefinite, as if like it's not clear, like how does email marketing works, where you can see the analytics. And I've seen some of the questions that arose, you know, during the task assignment. How does it work? And this is something that we're going to study today. Also, we're going to study some key concepts in email marketing, some vocabulary, some things that you should know of how email marketing works. And we're also going to study about selecting the right email marketing software for specific business needs. We're going also to study about A/B testing and also how to optimize for open rates. So we already know that open rates identify through your amazing subject line. And we're also going to study about how to optimize your subject lines, basically. So let's start with popular email marketing platforms and their features. So the very first tool that we have, it's called MailChimp. I've even attached the brand there, the logo, so that it's familiar to your eye. It's a very popular email marketing platform. It has a very user-friendly interface for beginners. So for beginners like you, it's a very amazing tool. And to be honest, most of the businesses I know use MailChimp. It's very practical, it's easy to use, it offers customizable email templates. So just as Canva, I'm sure all of you know how to use Canva, right? It's very easy to use. You shouldn't be a scientist. It's not like a rocket science for you to use Canva. So most of the email marketing tools, they work the same way. You just come in, right? And you just click and you need to choose a template. Either it's going to be a promotional email, relational email, newsletter, and all you need to do is you have to input the pictures. And the MailChimp also features automation for drip campaigns. It provides analytics and A/B testing. So I know this is something that you were asking as well. What is analytics, right? How can we check the KPIs? So you can check the KPIs on analytics of MailChimp, of every actually email marketing tool. That's very important. And it could be integrated with various third-party apps, right? For example, if it's WordPress, you can integrate it to WordPress, you can integrate it to Shopify, whatever third app, so it can give you more data and information. So I've attached this for you to show how it works. Again, very simple, right? Usually how it works is that you just click and there's like create campaign, right? It starts with a create campaign and then it takes you to these templates. And as you can see, it says designing your email. So you do know how Canva works, right? So it's the same thing. You will have to browse and input the picture here. Maybe usually it's the picture of the brand, of the logo. You input like a really great, maybe some headline. This is mostly for relational emails, like such as newsletters, right? Like this could be something to keep the relations, right? About maybe sharing some news related to the brand, some trends and etc. You can also add, you see the social share. If you notice, most of the email marketing campaigns, they have like at the very bottom, their social media. So this is something that you can just, click on it and drag it down. And, that's how you can design your email. So again, this is not a rocket science. I don't want you to feel, that this is something complicated. This is absolutely easy, right? Yes, so next we have Klaviyo. So Klaviyo is an advanced email marketing platform, so it's a bit more advanced in a way that advanced doesn't mean that it's difficult. It doesn't mean that it's complicated. It just means it has more features. And it focuses on e-commerce and customer segmentation. So usually most of the e-commerce businesses, they use Klaviyo because that's ideal. And it could send highly personalized email campaigns and also SMS marketing. So this is why it's ideal for e-commerce. It has an amazing, robust analytics and reporting. And also it integrates with popular e-commerce platforms such as Shopify, like WooCommerce and etc. So here's one of the examples of Klaviyo, right? Again, it's not a rocket science, right? You can see, right? You can input the picture of a product, some image, and then here's a CTA shop now, like it's a button. You can write something else. You just click on it and you can put the link. So you can input the product and, like change the styles, exactly how Canva works, right? Like, again, I want you to go with the mindset that that's very simple to use a tool. And what's even great about Klaviyo is that you can double check how it looks on desktop and how it looks on mobile, because most of the time we send something on the desktop, but then on mobile, it doesn't look good, right? So you can click here and see whether the campaign looks actually solid and, very well placed on mobile for mobile interface. Next, we have ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is all-in-one marketing automation tool. and it's ideal for advanced users. So ActiveCampaign is mostly used for sales teams, I think. I remember we also used it for marketing, but it's mostly for relational emails. It was ideal for us. So it offers email marketing, automation, CRM. So CRM means customer relationship, right? So mostly the sales team is the one who uses ActiveCampaign because it has advanced automation. So I will explain you what does automation mean, but basically automation is when you can automate something you can do in the settings so that emails are sent automatically without you doing it manually. And then it can also do the behavior tracking for targeted emails. Like usually people use ActiveCampaign to do outreach programs, right? I don't know whether you have ever received, but usually like for USA, like it's very common, let's say some businesses, let's say they target, let's say they provide some services and then they target CEOs of these type of companies. So they find their emails and then they send them like advertisement outreach, like it's called like outreach campaigns. For example, are you struggling with your, I don't know, software development, like our team has blah, 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 like, they send these targeted emails and you can track how many people opened and whether they're gonna get back to you. And this is the way for you to generate sales. So again, this is an amazing platform for salespeople. And as well, it integrates with numerous apps and services. So that's how ActiveCampaign works, right? That's how it looks like. Here you have automations, you can, set it up. And here, like there's a campaigns button. So for you, let's say if you only take over the marketing part, and if let's say your client uses ActiveCampaign, you don't have to do anything with automation, like this part. You can only, have to create campaigns. And you can track the contacts, and here it shows you the analytics, right? It shows you how many people unsubscribed, how many people click-through rate, and it shows you like it also shows you like how many more like subscribers you've got, those who subscribed your email list. Yeah, so you can also click the reports. It will show you the reports maybe for like 6 months and etc. Yes, and just to let you know that, again, I want you to understand 2 things when it comes to email marketing. So for you as email marketers, it's very important to nail how to write a great copy, how to write a great subject line, how to understand the customers, how to understand the brand itself. If you know these like components, you will, this is what you will be required to do, right? So you don't have to worry much about automation. You don't have to worry much about setting up things. All you will have to do is create an amazing design for maybe either relational email, maybe create a strategy, like what kind of emails do you want to send. You will also have to like track the KPIs. You will also have to create really compelling emails, right? So I don't want you to stress out about, oh, like we don't know how to use tools and we've never practiced how to use tools. It's not about that, right? Every tool has more or less the same functionality. Like all of these tools, they have the same layout, the same, like as in here, right? It's the same how you drop the images and etc. It's the same analytics. Your role as email marketer is to craft a compelling subject line, a compelling body copy for you to understand what is your target audience, who are you speaking to, what kind of strategies are you going to use. Let's say if the company you're working for is going to have sales soon, how are you going to communicate about it? You'll be like, okay, we can use promotional emails, right? I can use scarcity subject lines, right? So this is for you to know, to understand. And next, we have Constant Contact. It's again, beginner-friendly email marketing platform, easy to use drag and drop email editor. I mean, Constant Contact is really easy to use drag and drop email editor. So is MailChimp, so is ActiveCampaign, in my opinion. And it provides customizable templates, like just like other tools as well. It has basic automation features. list management and segmentation. I will explain you what does list management and segmentation mean, and also event management and surveys. So for you as beginners, it's ideal to use Constant Contact and MailChimp, right? But here's the thing. So I think there's this confusion. People assume that if you're an email marketer, then you need to have your own tool. Let's say you are an email marketer and you want to provide email marketing services, and you assume that you need to have your own MailChimp and then you need to send it. It doesn't work this way. Whatever tool that your client is using, that tool you're going to use. So that's why you cannot just, have your own MailChimp and just, it doesn't work this way. Let's say your client has a MailChimp account that is registered under their business. And then your client gives you the passwords of MailChimp, and, now you have access to MailChimp. Now you have access to, how to create all of these. That's how it works. So that's why don't worry that, you don't have these tools, you don't have control over this, because that's how it works. Similarly, let's say for Instagram, right? If you're providing social media services for someone, you need to know their password, right? You cannot post Instagram content from your own Instagram. You know what I mean? I hope it makes sense to you. So I'm just sharing these tools with you so that you're familiar that these are some of the popular tools out there. And these are, and perhaps there's a chance that some of your clients might be using any of them. And even though your clients are using something else, it doesn't mean that you can't handle that. It still has the same functionality and the same layout. Okay, so this is how Constant Contact works. Like, you have this demonstration. It's just drag and drop. So you see, you need to put social media icons below. You're adding, you see, you just drag and drop. Yeah, just like that. Nothing complicated, nothing to worry about, nothing to stress about. And you can see there's already a template. There is, it gives you, same as Canva, right? A direct and compelling headline. You need to put something. I think this is ideal for relational email. You need to input some pictures, write something below, or, like just design it. And I'm sure all of you are really good at designing, right? Okay, let's continue. So yeah, one more thing. So you can see in all of these email tools, you can check and preview. So before sending, you want to see how it looks like, right? So you can like click on this button, check and preview, and you can see whether your design is accurate, whether your wording, it gives you this chance. And, you can also continue. And when you send, you can actually schedule it. You don't have to send it right now, right? So usually all of these tools, they have the opportunity to schedule. Like, you want to send it, maybe you're designing it today, but you want to send it tomorrow, and you can just write the date, choose the date, and just type, like, press schedule. So that's how it works. Very simple. Okay. And also you can see there's campaigns, right? You can click on campaigns and it will show you all the previous emails and campaigns that you've sent. Contacts, it will show you the emails of every person who signed up for the newsletter. Reporting, it will show you the, open rates, click rates, unfollows, and etc. Sign up forms, those people who sign up. Library, I don't know, maybe library could be some information, like, some tips and tricks and etc. and integrations, like, is it integrated to WordPress, Shopify, and so on. Okay, so right now I want to discuss about key concepts in email marketing. So first of all, the first concept is called email list building. So what is list building? Imagine email list building as follower building, right? On Instagram, you grow your followers. So on email, you need to grow your list. So the more people that they're subscribed to your email list, the better it is for you, right? The more it means they're interested, so you can entertain them, you can nurture them, you can sell to them. So email list building is the process of collecting email addresses for your audience. Import contacts, use sign-up forms, or integrate with websites. So you can collect emails. So usually people themselves, they sign up for newsletter, right? Sometimes they come to the website, and some of the websites, they have a pop-up. Have you noticed sometimes when you go to some website to read something on the website, and then some pop-ups show up, right? Like, and it gives you the chance to sign up something, or it tells you, or download this for free. And then when you click it, it asks you for your email. You think it's just for fun? It's not. It has a reason. They're actually wanting to have your email so that they will continue nurturing you and, you know, promoting their stuff. And, you know, that's how it works. And then there's email campaigns. Sending targeted emails to your subscribers, right? What we've studied, it could be relational emails, promotional emails, and etc. So it includes newsletters, promotions, and announcements. And then we have automation. So automation is pre-scheduled emails and workflows. So as I said, we can pre-schedule emails, right? We don't have to send it right away. And also automation means triggered by users' behavior or specific events. So let me explain you how this works, triggered by user behavior or specific events. So some companies, they already have this system in place. They have a system like, for example, salespeople do it a lot on ActiveCampaign. So it's like step one, the person subscribes, right? Subscribes to email list, and then the email tool will automatically send an email saying, "Hi, welcome, like you've subscribed, here's a free gift for you," like something like that, or like a free discount for you for subscribing, right? This is the first step. And then when the person, for example, purchases something, like, you know, like this is already like the automation. So it's triggered by users' behavior. If a person signs up, there will be an automatical. It's not like the email marketer is sitting and typing it, sending right now. No, right? That's impossible. It's already prepared on the settings on automation part. The person already says, okay, like there's a formula or like algorithm that, okay, if this person signs up, we need to send him welcome email, right? If the person responds to the welcome email, maybe we need to send him another email. So it depends on the strategy. So that's how it works. Segmentation. So dividing your email list into smaller targeted groups, personalizing content for better engagement. So here's the thing. So I have showed you in the previous tools, right? You can choose the contacts. So there is like analytics, campaigns, right? There's a button, and then there's contacts. So you can segment your contacts. What does segment mean? Segment is dividing by smaller groups. Let's say it's a jewelry brand, right? Let's say I'm running a jewelry brand, and my email list has both girls and boys as subscribers, right? Because girls buy jewelry for themselves, and then boys buy jewelry for their girlfriends, right? But if I have boys and girls mixed up in my email list, I cannot send them the same email, because if I'm sending an email saying, "Hey girl, you deserve this jewelry, buy it for yourself," right? And then if boys get this email, you know, they will not relate to this and they will unsubscribe. They will be like, "What is this email?" But if I will segment them, so I will divide, I will see the emails and I'm like, this is a guy. So I will put the guy in a different segmentation list, and then I will put the girls in a different segmentation list. And every time I'm crafting a relational email, promotional email, I will create one that is for guys and talk something more about your girlfriend deserves the best ring in the world. Your mother deserves like this amazing present from you, like, you know, and I can send this to guys. And then for the other email, I will say, "Hey girl, this is a payday. You should treat yourself with this amazing jewelry," right? And I can send this to girls. So now this is perfect because everyone will receive personalized content. So that's how segmentation works. And then we have analytics and reporting. So this is very obvious, tracking email performance metrics like open rates and click rates and click-through rates. And then we use this data to optimize future campaigns. So that's what we've talked about many times. So we see how many open rates we have, and then we are like, okay, we need to improve maybe the copy or the subject line, and etc. And then we have integration. So connecting email marketing tools with other software or platforms, right? So we can probably connect it to Shopify. So not sure if you know Shopify. I think I'm seeing some Indonesian brands using Shopify, some e-commerce brands. So let's say if someone, okay, so let's say you have a Shopify e-commerce brand, and if you go below your website, there's like join my email, right, list. So you can integrate, let's say, your MailChimp to Shopify so that whoever signs up from your website, so that this contact automatically goes to your MailChimp, right? So you can also use these integrations and streamlining processes and data sharing. So that's how it works. Yeah, so these are some of the vocabularies used in email marketing, you know, like I'm sure you're familiar with most of them. And now let's move on to the next section. So selecting the right email marketing softwares for specific business needs. So I've already shared with you a few of the email marketing lists. So I've told you that the most for you to start with could be like MailChimp or Constant Contact. But again, like you cannot just have your own account. It doesn't work this way. It's the business that needs to have already, right? Because if you want to sign up for MailChimp, like you need to have a business email account, and most of you do not have, you have personal emails, right? So, but let's say some of the businesses, I know that, you know, when they're just starting their email marketing, and they'll be confused because there's so many options, and they will be like, which one do we need to use? Like there's so many options, you know? And then this is great for you to know what kind of options are there, what kind of functionalities do they have, and how much do they cost. So, you know, it's good to know for you, like the options there. But like most of the businesses, small businesses, they always start with MailChimp and Constant Contact. These are like very easy to use. So yeah, I've prepared this list. So we have email marketing tools, either it's for B2B or B2C, what their features are, do they have a free plan, and paid plan details. So as you can see, all of them are suitable for B2B and B2C. So like MailChimp, we've already talked, it's very user-friendly, customizable templates, automation for drip campaigns, and they have basic analytics. So they have a free plan, but limitations, right? So paid plan details start at $9.99 per month with more features and higher limits. Klaviyo, it also can be used for both, but mostly it's for e-commerce. So it's e-commerce focused, highly personalized email, SMS marketing support, robust analytics. There's no free plan. Pricing is based on the number of contacts. So the more contacts you have, the more you pay, basically. So it starts with $20. We have active campaign. You can be used for both, all-in-one marketing automation, advanced automation workflows, behavior tracking integrations, right? So we can track the behavior of the users. Free plan, no. Paid plan based on the features and numbers of contacts, starting at $9 per month. We have Constant Contact. Both, it's beginner friendly, again, beginner friendly, drag and drop email editor, list management, basic automation. Free plan, yes, but with limitations. So paid plans start at $20 per month and with more features and higher limits. So these are what we've already went through. And we have also Sendinblue, GetResponse, Aweber, Drip, and HubSpot email. So HubSpot is, again, very like active campaign. It's like a CRM integration. It's perfect for salespeople, but it also has marketing automation, segmentation, and analytics. So what else? Dip is e-commerce marketing, behavior-based automation, personalization, CRM. Pricing is based on the number of the contacts. So most of them, their pricing is based on the number of the contacts, right? But as you can generally see, most of them provide, you know, very basic features. And, you know, sometimes, let's say for e-commerce, for them, it's better to use something like Klaviyo or like, what is it? Klaviyo. Like those who provide also SMS marketing, right? So for some e-commerce, SMS marketing is also very important, or like WhatsApp, sending personalized messages to WhatsApp. Yeah, so basically these are the tools that you should know, but the ones that I've mentioned over here are like the very first 4 ones are most commonly used. Let's go. Okay, so right now we're going to study about A/B testing. I'm not sure if you've ever heard about this. Probably if you know how landing pages work, it's also very commonly used A/B testing, like it's a marketing term as well. Some UX UI designers, they do A/B testing. For example, they create website with one design, and then they create another landing page with another design, but it still conveys the same message, but just different maybe design. And they want to see which design, and then they will test it among like 100 users. So let's say A option is tested among 100 users, and then B option is tested among 100 users, and they will see which design performs best, which design has better conversions and response, and then they'll be like, okay, it means we need to go with B design. B design has better response from the users, so we need to ditch A and we need to finalize B. So that's how A/B testing works. So again, what is A/B testing? It's also referred as split testing. Type of email campaign typically used to test either subject lines or email copy against each other. So, so the picture here also shows, right? Like you can send one subject line to 50% of your contacts and another subject line to another 50% of the contact. Let's say you have two amazing subject lines, and especially this subject line is this email campaign. The purpose of this email campaign is to sell. And you badly want to sell, and you're not sure which one of these two subject lines are the best. You know that both of them are great, but you still want to test, right? So you can send to 50% of your contacts one subject line, to another 50 another subject line, and see which one has greater open rates. So there are two or around three, I think, three common A/B tests. So the first is called 10-10-80 rule. So let me move this. So it's set a campaign up with two separate subject lines, an A and B. Like you can create two different subject lines, and then each variant would be sent to random 10% of your list, no less than 2 hours before your desired send time for the other 80%. So you send to like 10 random percent of your list, and then like 2 hours before you can also send it to another 80%, and send the highest open variant for the rest of your list. So when you see that, you send it to 10 random, 10% of random, and 80% of random, and then you see which one has the most opens, and then you still have one more 10%, right? And the one that has most opens, you send it to the rest of the remaining list, basically. So it's great for testing different types of subject hooks, like curiosity-based, benefit-based, urgency-based, and etc. So for example, this is the example of one of the digital product. They're selling like courses, and then they say here, the Facebook update you need to know, right? So this is like I think it's a relational email. The Facebook update you need to know. So you see they don't, okay, so see they don't say Facebook, they just use FB, right? Because subject lines need to be very short. So they testing one subject line, the Facebook update you need to know versus get ahead of Facebook's next big focus for 68% off. So it's a bit longer, it has numbers. So they want to see which one's going to perform best. And they've actually experimented, and the experiment showed that the Facebook update you need to know led to an absolute lift of 1.8% and a relative lift of 13%. So resulted in thousands of more opens with the other 80% of the list. So it means this was the best one, and another 80% of the list were sent the most successful open rate. So the next type of the A/B testing is called the 50-50 test. That's very simple. So set a campaign with two separate subject lines, an A and B. Each variant would be sent to 150% segments of your list at the same time. So here you need to send it at the same time. If in the previous one you need to wait for 2 hours, here you need to send it at the same time. So it's great for testing little differences in subject lines to see if small tweaks lead to statistical significance. If there's some small things in your subject line would make a big difference. So here's an example. Free, the ultimate Instagram ad cheat sheet. plus puppies. I think puppies is just add to get the attention, you know, like everybody loves puppies. And here they put free at the beginning, right? Because everybody loves free. So free, the ultimate Instagram ad sheet plus puppies versus the ultimate Instagram ad sheet plus puppies. So here they're not using free. So they want to see, do actually people really like free, or, you know, like even though they're puppies, or no, like, so then the variant with free in each, in the subject line had the absolute of 3.4 higher open rate and relative 37% higher open rate. So obviously where there's free, there's more open rates. So that's the example. So some advice when it comes to A/B testing. So remember, formulate hypotheses. So you cannot just send random two absolutely different subject lines. It needs to be the same, but maybe with some small differences, right? Because you need to know which of your formula, which of your wording hits the best so that you can use it for further campaigns. You need to know what you're aiming to test and aiming to measure. So these tests can apply to open rates, click rates, and technically all KPIs. So maybe your goal is to improve the open rates, right? If it's open rates, maybe you can test subject lines, or maybe you want to improve the click rates. Like, no, you really need to know what's the goal of you doing A/B testing. And don't forget to be creative with your tests. Absolutely. Yes, so this is how we do the A/B testing. That's the rule. And now let's study about how to optimize for open rates. So we already know that open rates are responsible for a great subject line. And let's say your open rates are not as great and you want to improve them. Here are some suggestions, basically. So those suggestions include test, and one more time, test your subject lines and send times. Sometimes, you know, your subject line, your small tweak, like if you add free, how you write it, maybe with capital letters, with a lot of capital letters, can make a huge difference. Send time. Sometimes if you send it at the time when people are partying and not on their emails, you know, you could actually lose your chances. Listen to your subscribers, you know, like see what's the response, right? Like let the analytics tell you, like you need to listen to your subscribers. So generally, it's advised to send on Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So these are advice times, but obviously it can really depend. I think people at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. are at work and checking their emails. Maybe afterwards, they're not very on their emails. Like, I don't know what's the reason. But generally, this is the rule. But, you know, who knows? Maybe if you send it at another time, it will also have a great open rate. Very important. Keep your subject lines short and punchy. Like, I cannot keep enhancing this and highlighting this, that you need to keep them short. You need to keep them punchy. Don't write long texts. Like, for the long text, keep it for your body copy, but your subject line needs to just grab attention. Write subject lines that are paid off in your copy, right? So let's say if it's working well in your copy, you know, if it's related to what you're talking about, the subject line also needs to have that, obviously. Do not forget to use your secondary subject line, also known as pre-header. So there is also pre-header. So let's say if you go to the email, you can see like a subject line if you receive, and then there's a small pre-header that, you know, talks what is the email is going to be about. So you can use this pre-header. Usually when you're about to send the campaign, they will ask you to like fill out the subject line, and then there's like they will give you another box for pre-header. So maybe you can add the rest of your idea. Like for those people who really like to make it long, you can make it write down the rest of that in the pre-header. So make your subject line short and add the rest of what you were gonna say in the pre-header, right? This way the person can read the big subject line and then see, okay, there's like the continuation, but it also needs to be short, basically. 7, send your marketing emails from a person. So obviously, if it's sent from a person, let's say the organization has a, let's say for SGBVA, right? The main person is Tanya, right? She is always the spokesperson. So let's say if she ran email campaigns, it would be ideal for her to use her own photo, her own name. This would be more ideal, more professional. and it would be more trustworthy, basically, rather than just like SGBVA brand, you know what I mean? And use curiosity, negativity, humor, or personalized messaging. Absolutely. Anything that grabs attention, basically. And don't try to be too clever with your subject lines. Again, I've said it a million times. Don't be too clever. Don't worry about showing off your new vocabulary that you've learned in your English class. Like, it's not about this. You need to use simple. Don't shy away. Use as simple words as you can. Make your subject line a pattern interrupt. So something that interrupts people, like, oh, wow, like, you know, like they just really want to open it. Open curiosity loops in your preceding emails. Maybe you can create like several emails that have the order. One curiosity, another curiosity, you know, you can make this strategy so that the person is addicted to see what's next, what's coming next. Encourage your subscribers to whitelist your emails or drag them into the primary tab if they're in Gmail, right? So sometimes subscribers, when they really like this emails that you're sending to them, they will basically choose you as the favorite, right? So if it's really personalized, if your emails are really personalized, they will be like, oh, okay, I'm very interested to know about this brand, and they will usually like put the star, like, and in this way, the Gmail will see that, okay, the emails that you're sending are not spam. They're not going to end up in a spam folder. They're going to end up in a primary folder. Don't use too many images in your emails. That's one of the things as well. When people use too many images, there's a risk of going to the spam folder. So try to have some sort of a balance, basically, and practice a good list hygiene. So it means, so list hygiene, we're going to study this next class. List hygiene basically means that the list of people, like subscribers, right, that are really interested, if there are people who don't even open them, and if you keep like sending them emails and they never open it, and they, you know, like, you need to remove those. We will also study this in our next class, like how to clean your list so that your emails are more effective. So you need to practice good list hygiene and use an inboxing tool like Return Path to be aware of which Gmail tabs your emails are ending up in. So there's this tool, it's a third-party app. It's called Return Path. So it shows you where are your users putting your email? Are they going to trash? Are they in a spam box? Are they in a primary? So, you know, it also will help you to improve the email campaigns. Okay, so this is so far what we've learned today. The main thing that we've learned is do not stress about the tools. You need to know what kind of tools are out there. How do they look like? What functionalities do they have? And we've learned that they're more or less very similar. They all have the basic functionalities of creating campaigns, of reporting, of automation, of creating the list, segmenting. We've also learned that some of the easy to use ones are MailChimp and Constant Contact for beginners, but it all depends on what your client is using, right? But don't stress about it, and, you know, don't worry if the client ever asks you, like, have you ever used this or that? You know, it's really not about that. It's about how you can create the strategy for email campaigns. We've also learned about like A/B testing, and we've again talked about how to optimize the subject lines and open rates. And right now, it makes sense for us to move to the task. So the task today is going to be very interesting. So in our previous class, we've actually crafted subject lines for each type. I've also asked you to prepare one body copy. So this time, so what you will need is a Canva and your previous homework from Module 2 and my feedback. So I've left the feedback for your homeworks. You can look at my feedback, you know, and you can have a chance to improve your already prepared body copies and whatever, according to my feedback. So that's what you will need and what you will do. So I want you to create a full layout. So a full layout means a full email, as in like with images, with body copy, with the button. And obviously that's why you need Canva, right? So we cannot use the real tools because we do not have business email account. But you can do this on Canva for you to try to, how to design this basically. So you need to obviously add your subject line, your body, CTA, and images. So it needs to be about SGBVA email marketing course, of course. So it's the same basically task what you did, but this time it's more comprehensive. You need to add images. So yeah, so you can use Canva for email templates. So, like Canva has everything, anything that you need. So then you need to create either relational or promotional email for SGBVA email marketing course. So you can use your improved copy from Module 2. You can use curiosity, scarcity, direct, and etc. subject line. It's up to you. Or you can create something new. If you want to create something completely from scratch, that's also okay. But if you want to save your time and improve basically your previous homework, according to my feedback, you can also do that. And I've also provided you some inspiration on the next slides for you to have a look, but let me again make you clear. So create a full layout email, subject line, body copy, CTA. You already have it, just improve it based on my feedback. You can add some maybe images from SGBVA. You can go to Instagram of SGBVA, edit, like maybe add some history, some I don't know, some compelling basically image. So let's have a look, like it's also very helpful sometimes if you're confused and if you have no inspiration. You can always look at other, like what I also do sometimes, I go to Pinterest and I just type, for example, email templates for courses, like online course, like something like that, right? And they will give you some ideas. So it's a very good way for you to get some inspiration. So for example, I've gathered these ones. These are like online courses, and SGBVA is also an online course basically, right? So you can see here how they arranged it, right? So the first one we have, it's Udacity. It's an online course. So the subject line is, come check it out, just for you, our top-rated non-degree programs, right? And our top-rated programs. So they're just using Android developer, iOS developer, enroll, and they have like enroll for each of them. And it has really great visuals, and it also says top-rated. And I also like that they're using, what is it called? Basically the reviews. Yeah, they're adding the reviews. So you can just type review. And I mean, socials, this is like standard for every email. Then we have subject line, beginner's guide to web development, right? You can also say beginner's guide to email marketing. They want the email type, they want to onboard. Their goal is to onboard. So it's a code school, right? Beginner's guide to web development. Curious about web development, but not sure where to start. Or maybe you just need to brush up some of the basics. Or our new beginner's guide to web development has it covered. Read through it now, explore or rediscover the foundations of web development. Read now, you see, like perfect. We have another one. New skill, pizza maker. It's very interesting subject line, very fun. New skill, pizza maker. So you see they have the pictures, like it's very visual. I really like it, and really great CTA. So something for you to consider. Sometimes you can either make it like great visually, or sometimes you can type, like it's up to you. Like I very encourage you to get some inspirations on Pinterest. We have another one, the subject line, your first class ticket to success. Amazing subject line, your first class ticket to success. So it's a newsletter. Dream of being handpicked by top brands. So there are more than 40 industry designed courses to choose from right here. So our team can wait to connect and help you to transform, I cannot see, sorry, your career dreams into real life stories. Amazing, right? So it gives you like, let's chat, like very great. And it shows like, some of the success stories basically. Oh, Duolingo, our favorite one. It's very famous. Subject line, got 5 minutes? Time for a lesson. Very great. I really love it. It's really creative. engagement. So their engagement is the same as basically relations, right? So daily Japanese reminder. Hi, Smiles Davies, keep the all happy. Learning language requires practice every day. So it's like they're sending motivational fun type of a thing. Today's goal, learn the skill of hiragana 1. Okay, begin challenge. So very great engagement campaign. We have another one, subject line. Take a seat at Daniel's poker table. That's cool. I think Daniel is someone who is very famous, right? So that's also a very interesting subject line. So you see, it says what you'll get. It gives you in a visual way the benefits that you will get, and it's very short. You know, it's not long sentences. It just shows you in a visual way in less than a sentence, basically. And it has the CTA, learn more. Perfect. So again, these are your inspirations. So you can also create something very creative. You can use such icons as visual to demonstrate the features, the benefits that this course will provide, and so on. So yes, I'm really excited to see what you're going to come up with. So I want something full, right, with these inspirations that I've showed. It needs to have images, CTA, copy, and subject lines. Okay, so this is it for today. Oh, we had 2 more. Okay, we have 2 more. It's about the coding. Summer camps are here, so you know they're just introducing. This is mostly like a relational email, and this is the LinkedIn, actually, LinkedIn Learning. So it says 16 unlocked courses for working remotely. Perfect as well. So you see, it shows again in one sentences. It shows what kind of subjects are there, and it's again, you see the body copy is very short. It's not long. So, and then it gives you the CTA, start learning. Yes, basically this is it. Follow these inspirations, and I can't wait to see what kind of creative mind you've got. And for today, we're done. And I can't wait to see your assignments. Thank you, and bye-bye. See you next time.